Okay, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, is there any problem? My audio? Am I
No,
audible?
sir. It's
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes. Right. Some network issue. Sometime login. All right. Yesterday's class we discussed how to convert the management problem into mathematical equation. Now today's class or today's session we are going to discuss how to determine the value for x1 and x2. Correct? Until now we have only formulated, we have converted the management problem. Okay, management problem was converted to mathematical equations. Is it right? Now, once those equations are being formed, we have to determine what is the value of x1, what is the value of x2. Indirectly, if you have to see, we have to determine the number of products manufactured, number of products to be manufactured. Similarly, what can be the total amount to be invested, total amount to be different type of things. So all these things can be identified by LPP. The LPP's main intention is that. Right? All right. So, all right. Tell me the first equation that the first problem on. Just dictate me. First problem we have solved on that particular problem. What is the equation?
So you want the equations only?
Only equations. Example 1 in LPP equations.
2x1 plus 3x2
2x1 plus x2
is less than or equal to 60 kgs.
kg. Correct. Next.
4x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to 96 hours.
Next.
Only two. And one more is x1 comma x2 is greater than or is equal to 0.
All right, and one more objective equation that is objective is
Profit.
maximize profit. What was the profit equation?
40x1 plus 35x2.
Next. So this question, so just write down this equation. Solve for x1 and x2 graphically. Okay, so this is the problem definition, and this is the question set. All right, so just read out the question once. Just read it by yourself. What was the question statement all about? All right, so what exactly x1 and x2 stood for? Okay, so just write down this question statement. We will try to solve this problem. So usually Actually, the ERPs, if you have to see, they decide all the values of X1 and X2 here is nothing but it is a total number of products being manufactured by the firm. For any of the organization, it is very much important decision to make as to how many products they are supposed to manufacture with the available resources. Now, once the total number of products are being manufactured is decided, once the firm decides the products have to be manufactured. Next, profit calculation can be done. Is it right? So there is for making profit, there is one of the constraint. The main constraint here is the total number of products that are to be manufactured. Is it right? Once that is being decided, the next parameters can be easily determined. So total number of products being manufactured itself is one of the constraints of the organization. So bigger the organization, manufacture large numbers, large scales, different parameters can be determined by determining the number of products being manufactured. One and experience. Okay. All right. So I'll just go to the next solution. In example 1 of it was so this explanation is not required in the examination, but since we have to understand the concept, right? So I'm just bringing this link. It was given that X1 is not X2 is what number of product, right? Correct. Everyone agrees to this. And total available ROM. Is it right? Whatever I have written.
Yeah, yes, sir. Tables and chairs, sir.
Correct. Tables and chairs was given. Right. Okay. I will write it in bracket as table. And raw material. Instead of raw material, did I give it as wood? Total available wood or total available raw material?
No, sir. Only raw materials was given.
Is it right? So all these things, constraints were being given. Now, with this constraint, we have to start developing. We have already developed the equations. Now we have to start determine what is the value. So possibly in your schoolings, you may have determined different values of x1 and x2. Same way we have to solve. No difference. Just make note of this. And go ahead. Okay, is it done? Okay, have you written this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I assume that others also have written this. First we come. First we Okay, so what is the equation here? 2x1 plus, what was the first equation we said? 2x1 plus 4x2.
2x1
3x
plus 3x2 is equal to 60.
less than
Less than or equal to 60.
Yes. Above equation 2x1 plus 3x2 equal to 60 kg. Because we have to solve this equation. The equation should always go to sign. So we consider x1 is equal to 0. So if we consider x1 as 0, what is the value of x2? Therefore, x2 is equal to how much?
Twenty.
20. 20 units. Okay. Okay, so there is a meaning for this. What means that product A, there are no product A that is being manufactured. Okay, so they are seeing what is the maximum product B that can be manufactured. The complete resource, if the complete raw material is utilized only for manufacturing the chairs, then how many chairs the company can manufacture at the maximum? Okay, that is being. So total number of tables manufactured is considered to be 0. Total number of chairs that is manufactured is 20 in that case.
so we are assuming that
Yes,
no tables are manufactured.
correct. We are assuming that there are no tables are manufactured. Similarly, next we will consider x2 as 0. We will try to determine x1. Same equation. Try to substitute x2 as 0. Determine x1. Okay, I will go for the next one. Next screen.
Yes, sir.
It means that zero tables are manufactured. Total of 20 chairs can be by the firm. This is as per the raw material. Okay, this is as per the raw material. We have not considered the labor hour consumption. Similarly, we substitute x2 is equal to 0, then how much? What will be the value of x1?
30.
30. So because 2x1 is equal to 60, therefore x1 is equal to 30. Okay, is it fine? Everyone agrees to this? Any doubts until this point? Okay, so I'm going ahead. If anyone wants me to come back to this, therefore, we write point A. What was the first point? we substitute x1 as 0. Suppose x2
20.
and point B 30. Is it fine? Everyone has understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
X1 and this is x. Okay. Fine. Now, similarly, uh, same thing has to be done for the second equation. So, consider the second equation. What was the second equation? Second equation is 4x1
4x1 plus 3x2 is less than or equal to 96.
labor hours. Okay. Now, again, the firm will concentrate completely on product B, and no tables are being. Okay. No tables are. That means what x1 is considered to be 0. In that case, if complete labors uh, are being allotted for only manufacturing chairs. Correct. So, how many chairs can be manufactured? Maximum. That is determined. So, what is that x1? If x1 is 0, what will be the value of x2?
32.
Okay, shall I go to the next screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I will go to the, again, assume that this. Okay. Therefore, what will be the four into 0? Four. What will be the value of x2?
32.
22. Similarly, determine x1 by substituting x2 as 0.
24.
24.
4 points are being determined now. Is it right? Now, just keep this thing in mind. Very much important. Not many a times, but some students do. Correct. See that whatever points you have obtained here, it has to be located on the graph sheet itself. Very much important. Even if your answer is right, and let us assume that you have not graph sheet for drawing the graph, then you will lose some marks. So whatever marks allotted for graph presentation, that will be lost. Correct. Small thing, but just keep in mind. Very much important that it has to be drawn on a graph sheet itself. Okay. Why? Because even in the previous semester, I have seen some of them drawing, not all, but some of them have drawn scatter diagrams on regular answer sheet. But it has to be actually drawn on the graph sheet. Okay.
So,
Yes.
so why, when we have two equations, why can't we equate, why can't we solve those two equations and find the x values?
That
Why
can be
is
done.
it done in this manner?
Yes, that can be done. But the thing is that since this is graphical, the question itself is graphical representation. That is the reason we have to solve it graph.
Oh,
Simultaneously also it can be solved.
yes, sir. Got it.
Similarly, x2 is considered Therefore, what will be x1? 24. Therefore, point C is what? What is point C? 0, comma. What should be point C?
32.
Okay, so these are the different points. Everyone getting the same answer? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
I will go ahead. So now it's time to represent. Okay, so always remember that y-axis is always x2, always. Y-axis is always x2. All right. So what is the highest value in x2? What is the highest value for x2? Point A,
32.
for all A, B, C, D, of all the points. X2 highest value is 30. And what about x1?
30.
It has to be strictly drawn on a graph sheet. Okay. So somewhere in the notebook, it has to be drawn on the. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so just observe here. You can draw this graph later. Rest of the points you can draw it by yourself. But first point, I will just plot it on the graph. Rest of the points, look it by yourself. Okay. So what is point A?
0 and 20.
0, hence x1 is 0, x2 is 20. So x1 is 0 and x2 is 20. Everyone agrees to this? X1 is
Yes,
0
sir.
and x2 is 20. So x1 is 0, so we have to draw it along this point will be. Anyone has any doubts here? Anyone has any doubts? X1 is 0 and x2 is 20. It will be on the y-axis. Anyone has any doubts?
No, sir.
What about point B?
30, comma 0.
30.
B, comma 0. So what is x1?
30.
30.
X2 is
0.
0. So where should be point B located? On the y-axis or x-axis?
X-axis.
Others also agree to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is if anyone has not understood, supposed to ask. Here I'm just waiting for some time. If anyone has any doubts, you can ask. Okay, now point A and point B has to be joined because they have come up from the same equation. We're supposed to join the two different. So we are supposed to join point A and point B. Why? Because the reason is that it has these both points have come up with the same equation. If there is any doubts, you're supposed to ask. So locate point C and point. Will point C be on y-axis or x-axis?
Y-axis.
Y-axis. Locate point C, and how about point D?
X-axis.
X-axis.
Join point C and point D. Identify those points and then okay. So now how about point C? Point C is
32.
0,
0 and 32.
how about point D?
24. 24, 0.
Okay. So these are the different points. Okay. So this is the point. Now next is here we have an important point. Okay. Now has everyone finished writing this graph?
Yes, sir.
How about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So just focus here. it's very much important that this is one single line, one single line. And what was the equation? First equation was, yes, first equation. 2x1 plus 3x2 is smaller than or equal to 60 kgs. What does it mean? Now x1 is equal to 0. What we have done is we could have written this also as equal to smaller than or equal to 20. Smaller than or equal to 20. That means what? X2 can be smaller than or equal to 20. Means what? X2 is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 13, 13 until 20. So any number between 0 to 20. Correct? Any number from starting from 0 till 20 is valid for us. That means you can manufacture, the firm can manufacture the product anywhere between 0 to 20. Correct? Is it understood here? Is it
Yes,
understood?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Similarly, this is also the same thing. X1 is equal to 30 means what? Meaning, the meaning of this X1 is between what value? 0 to
30.
30.
30, correct. 30. Is it right? That means what? Tables manufactured, correct? Manufactured can be between 0 to 30. Anywhere between 0 to 30. Okay. So that is the reason what happens here is our required area in the graph is less than 20. Here less than 20. And here it is less than 30. Correct? So that is the reason the complete area. Correct? Have you understood this? Why I am shading this part? Because 0 to 20 is the required area, the required value for 0 to 30. 0 to 30 is the required area for x1. Correct? Has everyone understood why I have shaded that particular area?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, similarly, the second equation also we are supposed to. Okay. What will be the required area? Which area is to be shaded for the second equation? Below 32. Is it right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason I'm completely shading this area below 32 and x1 is below 24. Okay, everyone agrees to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So do we find any overlapping area here? That means the area which is being shaded twice or which is being considered by both the equation.
Yes, sir.
Do we find
Yes, sir.
any?
It's the first equation.
Do we find any area in the graph which is being shaded twice? That means once by equation 1 and again by equation 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the boundary of that particular area? Boundary points?
0 to 20 and 0 to 25 in 0 to 20 in
24 and 24 and
20 and 24.
20 and
10,
24.
24.
24, correct. And here 18 and how did you find this out from the graph? Okay, so this we are going to determine by graph. That means what? Here it is going to be 18. That is the reason x1 is equal to 18. And x2 is going to be 8. This you are going to determine by graph. You are drawing it on the graph. You have obtained this value. Okay, are you getting this? How we got this point E?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is 18. If anyone has not understood this, I have to ask.
So if we solve both the equations, 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 60 and 4x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 96, then we get the same values, 18 and 8.
18 and 8. Yes, that's
So
right.
it can be solved like that,
Yes, yes.
elimination method. sir.
Yes, you can do it, but only thing is that here for the examination purpose, graphical representation is there. They have asked us to solve it graphically. So by whatever method you have obtained, correct? By whatever method you have obtained x1 and x2 values, correct? You can use it for cross verification, correct? So you can cross verify using that particular value by that particular method,
Okay, sir.
right? But graph has to be determined. You have to solve it this way only. There is no other option, correct?
Way and
So this is the required.
Yes, sir.
The required. Say that this is required area because this is overlapped twice. All right. So are everyone done with this? Shall I go to the next? Or I'll just wait for one more minute. Yes, if anyone has not understood, ask, or at least you can put the message in the chat box. Important thing is that you have to draw it on the graph. They will specifically ask us to solve this problem by graph.
so
Yes.
we can use that equation solving method and then determine it in graph, right? When we
Uh,
get the answer, we can directly determine it in the graph, right?
That can be done, but still let us not take any type of, since you can use it for verifying the answers, but the steps required will remain as it is. You have to substitute x1 as 0 and x2 as whatever value and get the answer. Still the solution is not yet over, correct? Still one more step is pending. Is it right? So for that, at least you have to solve the values.
Yes, sir.
By solving the simultaneous equation, what are the values you have obtained? By solving it by the old method, the previous method, what is the value you are getting for x1 and x2? You are getting it as 18 and 8.
Yes, sir. It is getting 18 and 8.
Okay. But to draw the graph, you require these points, right? You have to determine what is the value of A and what is B, what is C, so on and
No,
that
when
is-
we have when we have x1 and x2 values, we
Yes.
know that y-axis is x2 and x-axis is x1. We can directly determine, right? Why do we need two values for that?
two values in the sense like for the graph sheet, to locate A, B, C, D, correct? Draw the graph sheet, we have to have 4 points, right? Have to require solve the problem in this way.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, but always we need to take 0, like
Yes,
4
yes,
for
yes.
4 equations.
Yes, yes. Whatever may be the number of equations, you have to consider x1 as 0 itself and determine the rest of.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so boundary points. What are the boundary points here? The required area. First was point A. Next, point E. What is the next one? Point B. Is it right? 0. What is point A? Point A.
0 and 20.
0. Substitute that value. What is the answer?
Seven hundred.
700. First point is similarly. Next again substitute. My answer.
1000.
Finally,
960.
so which is the maximum value of profit?
Point E.
E.
Point
E.
correct. Yes, that's right. That is the solution. Okay. So x1 should be equal to 18 and x2 should be equal to 8. That means what? 18 number of tables can be manufactured and 8 chairs can be manufactured. So in which case the profit earned by the organization will be maximum. Okay. So just write in one word. Point E as the maximum profit. Therefore, x1 should be equal to 18. X2 should be equal to 8. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll conclude the class here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
can
thank
you go to the graph part?
Okay. The rest of them can.
Sir, when will you be uploading this note?
I will be uploading it possibly by today itself. I will upload.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Done, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.